The rivalry between Israel and Iran began not from ancient hatreds, but from the seismic shift of Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. Once pragmatic allies, the new regime in Tehran, led by Ayatollah Khomeini, branded Israel the little Satan and vowed its destruction. Iran's support for proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas encircled Israel, while Israel countered with covert strikes and sabotage. For decades, both sides waged a shadow war, deadly, calculated, but always just short of open conflict. As Iran's nuclear ambitions grew and its influence spread, the rules of this clandestine game began to unravel. The assassinations of Qasem Soleimani and Mohsen Fakhrizadeh marked a turning point, pushing Israel from containment to direct confrontation. Israeli leaders saw the window for action closing, believing Iran's ambitions posed an existential threat that could no longer be managed in the shadows. The stage was set for a confrontation that would push the Middle East to the brink. At the heart of Israel's anxiety is the specter of a nuclear-armed Iran, a threat seen as nothing less than existential. Israeli leaders hear Tehran's threats and imagine them backed by atomic weapons, fueling a national resolve to act. Iran insists its nuclear program is peaceful, but Israel points to secret archives, advanced centrifuges, and uranium stockpiles as proof of military intent. The 2018 Israeli raid on Tehran's nuclear archive only deepened these fears, revealing weaponization efforts. Failed diplomacy and the collapse of the nuclear deal left Israel convinced that time was running out. By 2025, intelligence suggested Iran was weeks from nuclear breakout. For Israel, this was a red line: no more covert delays, only decisive action would do. Unlike past threats, a nuclear Iran could annihilate Israel in a single strike, fundamentally altering the balance of power. This nightmare scenario drove Israel to gamble on direct military intervention. Israel's doctrine of preemption is rooted in survival, a willingness to strike first when existential threats loom. In 1981, Operation Opera destroyed Iraq's Osirak reactor. In 2007, Operation Orchard took out Syria's secret facility. These missions set a precedent. Israel would not allow hostile neighbors to go nuclear. The digital age brought new tools. Stuxnet, a joint US-Israeli cyber attack in 2010, crippled Iran's centrifuges without a single bomb dropped. These operations weren't isolated. They formed a playbook of bold, secretive action. By 2025, this legacy shaped Israel's most audacious plans yet. Operations Red Wedding and Narnia would combine kinetic force, intelligence, and cyber warfare on an unprecedented scale. For Israel, waiting was never an option. On June 13, 2025, Israel launched Operation Red Wedding, a lightning strike aimed at Iran's military leadership. Over 200 Israeli aircraft struck 100 targets, while Mossad operatives activated drones to destroy missile launchers near Tehran. The goal: paralyze Iran's command structure and cripple its ability to retaliate. Key IRGC leaders, including Major Generals Hossein Salami and Mohammad Bagheri, were killed, creating a leadership vacuum. The attack left Iran's air defenses shattered and its response in chaos. Iran managed a limited missile strike in return, but its capabilities were severely blunted. Red Wedding was a brutal success, but it was only half the story. As the dust settled, a quieter, more chilling operation was already underway. Israel's campaign was just beginning. Simultaneously, Operation Narnia targeted the heart of Iran's nuclear program, its scientists. Mossad teams eliminated 9 top nuclear experts in coordinated strikes across Tehran's suburbs. These were the minds behind Iran's enrichment and weaponization efforts. Irreplaceable assets. The assassinations, executed with precision and deep intelligence, created a knowledge vacuum that machines and buildings could not fill. Iran's nuclear program was set back not just by lost infrastructure, but by the erasure of expertise built over decades. The message was clear: no one involved in Iran's nuclear ambitions was beyond Israel's reach. Narnia instilled fear and paranoia among Iran's scientific community, disrupting progress from within. Together, Red Wedding and Narnia struck at both the leadership and the intellectual core of the Iranian threat. Israel's strategy was total: destroy the head and cripple the mind. The shockwaves from Red Wedding and Narnia reverberated across the Middle East, pushing the region to the edge of war. Iran's limited retaliation showed its weakened state, but also signaled that the cycle of violence was far from over. The open nature of Israel's strikes shattered decades of shadow warfare, creating a new volatile reality. The world was divided. Some saw the strikes as grim necessity, others as reckless escalation. The UN was paralyzed, and the threat of further conflict loomed large. While Israel bought time, Iran's nuclear ambitions were only delayed, not destroyed. The operations highlighted the risks of preemption: short-term gains but long-term uncertainty. In the aftermath, the region teetered on the brink, with peace more fragile than ever.